Ersgard here, and it's time to talk about the top 10 best anime series of 2024. And strap in, it's gonna be a long video. If you guys already watched any of my previous videos with this year, you can find them down in the description below with some of the other years I've done this. You probably already know how this is gonna work, but if you're new here, let me explain a bit how my process goes, so to say. I'm gonna have top 10 best anime series, but a bit with a twist, so to say. There's gonna be more than 10. First, we're gonna focus on top 10 sequels of 2024. Then we're gonna go into top 10 new anime. Then we're gonna have honorable mentions, of course, that didn't quite make the list. Then we're gonna have the top 10 combined overall, which I consider my best anime series of the year. And of course, number one is gonna be my anime of the year. And after that, we're also going to have worst anime series. This time we're gonna have 3 of them. It's gonna be one series just drove me insane, but this is all based on my enjoyment, everything that I've watched. Of course, I couldn't watch all of the anime that aired this year, that would be insane. And if you guys know me, I'm not a romance slice of life enjoyer, so if a series like that is not here, just know that it sucks. It's the worst thing ever. That's how it works. No, it's just not a genre I enjoy. Very rarely I could get into a series like that. It needs to do something more than just be romance and a slice of life. Not to say those genres are bad again, but this is all based on my criteria, what I took. Sequels, were they part 1 or they part 2, and the main rule has to be they started airing in 2024, so I'm not gonna have leftover from last year. I saw a lot of lists included Free Ren, Apothecary Diaries and series like that. They continued airing in 2024. I have them in my previous year, 2023 top 10 anime, if you guys want to check out that video. So those series are not going to be here. It's just anything that aired in 2024, and some of them are still gonna continue airing here. So based on my enjoyment, some of the rule was this part 1, part 2, overall how it was and so on. I'm gonna have them ranked here in top 10 overall, and top 10 sequels and new anime. And I'll be really curious to know what series you guys think should be here, and which series do you think shouldn't be here in my list. So let's get into it. At number 10 sequel of 2024, we have our first series, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2, which finally we had season 2 for a series that started out really great there, and I was expecting this season, and then we finally got it. And I'm liking this one. It's expanding the world, the characters are a lot more. Of course, all of the shenanigans are there with the girls bickering back and forth, but also a bit more on the nation building and the world building around everything that has happened. And I really like that quite a lot. It reminds me a bit of Slime. Is not yet at that level, at least with Slime compared to that, but Tsukimichi also does some things better in some cases, and the girls are really fun. I think that's one of the main driving forces of the series here. And of course, the world is also quite interesting. What happened, especially trying to find the history of our main character, his parents, what happened, and I just want that satisfaction. And I know a lot of you that have watched this series, satisfaction against that goddess, the revenge. It does happen a bit there, but it's one of the main driving forces. And if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it if you guys enjoy isekai series. I also have a best isekai series videos, and of course Tsukimichi is there. So quite a fun series, and I'm happy we got season 2, and I can't wait for more Tsukimichi shenanigans. At number 9, we have My Hero Academia Season 7, and this arc goes very much so into the end game, so to say. We have the emo or vigilante Deku arc here, going back and forth with the fights, and also some pretty emotional moments, which I actually really liked quite a lot. And I do still enjoy My Hero Academia, and I know the manga also ended. I'm one of the people that actually do like the ending, even before the epilogue. Sure, it has its issues, I fully agree with that, even the series overall, but I do still highly enjoy My Hero Academia, and then we even got the epilogue for the entire season. I can't wait for everything to be animated here. We're gonna get a full adaptation, but season 7 has actually been a blast and has touched the emotions in some moments here, and seeing the full dark sides and the good guys fighting against the bad guys and interconnecting, that has been great. And the way it ended there in that cliffhanger, and I can't wait for more. And I do hope you guys are still enjoying My Hero Academia. I'd like to hear if you guys are, or if you dropped it, why. Let me know in the comments below. For me, I actually did like season 7 quite a lot, and it feels crazy to think we're in season 7 of My Hero Academia. Time really goes by, and we're very close to a full adaptation. At number 8, we have Reincarnated as a Slime season 3, or the meeting anime. This season should have been an email, but I honestly don't care because I still enjoy that. It's not the best. I think last season was a bit better than this one. Don't get me wrong, those meetings and the pacing could have been done better, but I did actually enjoy just them talking what was happening, the world building, seeing the politics going back and forth, Hinata, what was happening to her, everything that was behind her, who was manipulating, pulling the strings. Then we had the beginning of the labyrinth, the more nation building there, the tournaments, all of the shenanigans. It feels like it's building up to more. This season definitely was more of a build-up season to what was happening in the future, so to say, with the war that is upcoming. And I really did like that. The fights were still really great there. Hinata is such an awesome character to have with Rimuru, having more reincarnated people there, and Slime just put me in such a good mood. I love this series so much. Another great isekai. Make sure you guys check out that isekai video, and if you know me, I'm an isekai enjoyer, and Slime is one of the best ones. But yes, those meetings definitely, and I love the memes. Hey, another meeting, this should have been an email. Awesome season, but not the best season of Slime, but I definitely still enjoyed it, and that's why it's here at number 8. Number 7, we have Shangri-La Frontier season 2, and from season 1 was also in my top 10 for last year. I actually had a lot of fun with this series. It's finally a series that focuses on the gaming aspect of a game, like not a survival, not a end of the world thing. Nobody's threatening you to play the game. You can't log out or you're gonna die. That's not a slight as SAO. I actually do enjoy SAO. I have an overhated video series on that if you guys want to check out more of that. But Shangri-La is just really fun and speaks to me because I enjoy games quite a lot, especially MMORPGs. I've played them all my life. Really fun, and season 2 still maintains that fun aspect. The characters, the dynamics, even growing up a bit the world, we get to see some of the other clans. And probably one of my favorite things was taking a bit of a break from your main game and going into something else. And thanks to that, we met an awesome character. And I really love that small arc there. I love Shangri-La, the game itself that they're going here, but also seeing, hey, maybe when a game burns you out, maybe something happened, you lost to RNG, you take a break, go try something else, and that refreshes you a bit. That was such an awesome thing to see when you're focusing on gaming and not just using gaming as a tool just to pretend you have it there. And then it picks up right back on the main things. And yes, I have read a bit ahead, and what we're in for this season 2, the fights here, the dynamics is gonna be really fun, and it is currently airing, but I still had to put it here at number 7. It's just so fun, Shangri-La Frontier, and if you haven't, highly recommend, especially if you're a gamer. Now at number 6 we have Danmachi season 5, or is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? Say that 3 times fast. Now this season is still airing and unfortunately had some production issues. It has been pushed forward to spring of 2025, but honestly still enjoyed this season quite a lot, mainly thanks to what's happening between Belle, Freya, which affects the entire city here, and all of the characters, and seeing Bell into that state, and having the war game towards the end. I'm really liking this quite a lot, and seeing Freya gods like this vulnerable is awesome. And even more after season 4. Season 4 so far has been my favorite of Danmachi. That one hit really hard with Ryu, everything that happened there. I'm having a blast with Danmachi, but unfortunately, yes, it does have production issues, but this is still a very highly enjoyable season, and maybe you can wait, maybe binge it up when it's fully aired, but you can, it has a good stopping point right now, right before the war game starts here. And if you never picked up Danmachi, please do yourself a favor and try it out. I was the same, I judge it just by the name itself when I first it was gonna be a lame series, but it took me a bit of while to actually try Danmachi season 1, and then I was instantly hooked and I wanted more and more and more and more, and season 4 hit like a rock. This one also hits like a rock, but a different rock, and I'm highly enjoying season 5. And I'm curious, what do you guys think of the series so far with Danmachi, and what are your favorite girl? That's probably one of the main questions with Danmachi. Number 5. This one just made me grin like a kid. I was like, finally it's happening. We have Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest, the sequel, the continuation of the original series with Fairy Tail, which is one of my all-time favorite series. Yes, even with all its issues, I already talked about it in my overhated anime series list, but it felt great having the gang back, all of the guild shenanigans, and focusing on this mysterious 100-year quest of dealing with the dragon gods. But what's a standout for this season is honestly getting more character development for our main cast, of course also expanding the world, but finally developing the ships, so to say, the relationships between the characters, the romance, going a bit further into that front there happening. And of course, it's still Fairy Tail. We're gonna have all of the fan service here and more probably with that. But I love Fairy Tail, and what can I say, this season has been really fun to enjoy here, and I do hope we're gonna get more after this one. Hopefully we do, but I need JC staff to also take a break and rearrange their production, so to say, even more after what we talked about with Danmachi. So take your time with Fairy Tail. I'm happy it's back, but don't rush things, both for this one and Danmachi and all of the other series for JC staff. Number 4, we have Kingdom Season 5, another one of my all-time favorite series, and a lot of people just probably never heard of it, or probably got tuned out thanks to the animation of season 1 and season 2, which is understandable, but I still highly recommend getting into Kingdom. I also have a video with the Kingdom anime deserving more respect. You can find that. But season 5 is so good, but unfortunately it's shorter than previous season. I was like, wait, we don't have any more. It's a really good stopping point, especially if you've read the manga. If you can get into the anime, I still at least recommend trying to get into the manga. It's such an amazing series, but unfortunately not a lot of people talk about in the main things, so to say. But I highly recommend Kingdom. Is an awesome series, and season 5 was amazing. Seeing some of the weaker characters doing some of the biggest things and the build up here, and I can't wait for more. Where is season 6 announcement? I need Kingdom so much. Such a good series. Again, one of my all-time favorite series. I didn't expect this to happen when I started it, but season 5 is great, and I wish we had more Kingdom. And I'm gonna repeat myself, I have to do it. Get into Kingdom. I know a lot of people haven't. Either manga or anime, whatever you want, just get into Kingdom. At least try it. Now we are at top 3, and this one goes to ReZero Season 3 Part 1. Yes, this is just the Part 1. We're gonna get more in February with ReZero, but the way it started, the movie episode that we got, I wish more series would do that, especially when you're starting such a dense series or picking up so many plot points, character threads, world building, and so on. Everything that has been happening was great. But then all hell broke loose into that town. The emotions here, the speech, just the characters, everything that is developing here is insane right now, and I don't know how it's gonna be resolved. Anime only with ReZero, one of my all-time favorites, but part one has been great. But if this was the entire season 3, we could have had a different conversation where how high it could have been, but part one is great in itself, and I can't wait for part one. Seeing Subaru, how far he has come, seeing all of the other characters finally getting a bit more answers, and again a ton of questions to say the least, with the world here, the witch cult. And I highly recommend you also check out one of the break episodes. It has a pretty huge information about one of the characters there. I do hope they expand on it in the main series, so to say. But yeah, ReZero is greatness, what has been happening here with this season, and it hit me in the feels, to say the least. That speech from Subaru, chef's kiss. Number 2, we have Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2. Finally getting the conclusion here with the school arc, and also mainly the labyrinth arc. And what we got here, just the moment, the emotional weight here in this season has been insane, to say the least. What happened, and they did it on Father's Day, also the reveal with Mother's Day, just it hit like a truck there. And I know some people had issues with the way the series, what happened towards the end, and I'm like, what series are you watching? It's gonna be a harem from the beginning. How are you missing that? And also, just there's so many things to talk about with Mushoku Tensei. I covered it week to week, same as ReZero, Fairy Tail. We have videos for that if you guys want to check out for specific episodes. But Mushoku Tensei, yes, it has its issues. I know the controversy. I'm tired of it. I honestly don't care. Such an awesome series. All of the characters, the world building that we got here, the questions, the emotional gut punches, just, and makes you think a lot about things and what it means to be with parents growing up, admitting some of the things that you were denying at first, and maybe realizing you're not so different from your parents or the people that raised you. And it has been so good, and I can't wait or more Mushoku Tensei, another one of my all-time favorite series. I feel like I'm gonna say that quite a lot, but if you haven't watched Mushoku, try it at least. If it's not for you, it's totally understandable, but for me, Mushoku Tensei has been great, yes, even with its issues. Now we come at number 1 from sequels, and it goes to Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War Arc, the Conflict or Core 3, and what Pierrot Films have done with this core, and Kubo and everybody involved into this, has been a blast, to say the least. All of the extra scenes, the expanding, the animation, the art style, the cinematography, the camera work, everything that happened in Bleach here, I was like, week to week, yes, please give me more here. They have been cooking so much, and seeing some of the fights animated here, the voice acting, everything, just I'm enjoying Bleach so much, it's insane. And we have one more core left until we get the full conclusion, which is probably gonna have a lot of extra scenes, and I have a feeling Bleach anime is gonna be the definitive edition. And I remember saying this quite a lot, but Core 3 is insane how much work they have done with this one, and oh, I can't wait for more. Seeing some of the foreshadowings, the world building, the character, the just how much depth there is into Bleach. The more attention you pay, the more you remember things, the more you actually engage with the series, is insane. And major credits to the staff, to Tide Kubo, and to everybody. Thank you very much for giving this what we got here with Bleach, and I can't wait for more and seeing all of the fan art towards the end when everybody lost or got killed from Kubo. Brings so much joy to me seeing the author be so involved in doing something like that. I love it. So Bleach, greatness, thank you. Now we get into new anime, top 10 for 2024, and at number 10 we have The Fable. And yes, this series came in like a dark horse. I didn't expect that to have this much fun with it, but it's mainly thanks to all of the shenanigans, the characters. You have this assassin being forced to kind of take a break and live like a normal human without killing. But how do you put somebody like that into that position and expect things not to go wrong or things get complicated with mobsters, other groups, him being more than weird, to say the least, but also his sister? And honestly, if I would have to choose which one is more dangerous, the assassin or the sister, I would kind of be more scared of the sister, if you guys know. Highly recommend checking out The Fable. It's such a fun series. I know the animation is not the best, but the characters, the dialogue, the shenanigans, I was grinning with each and every episode. And yes, it can get very dark. It's a comedy, but it's also very serious at times, and I love series that blend this quite well, and The Fable is one of those series, and I do hope we're going to get more. If you guys have any information or anything along those lines, please let me know, because Fable has been so much fun and such a great comedy and serious at the same time here. So if you haven't watched it and want a series like this, highly recommend The Fable. Now at number 9 we have Ishura, and I don't know if a lot of people did watch this. It reminds me quite a bit of Fate, or kind of like a battle royale with various heroes, people getting isekai transported into this world, and I'm happy we're getting season 2. I really do hope it's gonna be a full conclusion for this, but it was so intriguing, and seeing all of the power-ups, how they're gonna go against each other, and also clashing of ideals, because everybody in their own way do have a point to what they're fighting. Some are the villains, they see themselves as the heroes, or vice versa. Some are just caught in the middle of basically gods fighting. It's insanity, but manageable insanity, if that makes sense. And Ishura has been great, and I don't think a lot of series do this quite well. Sure, it's not the best things, greatest things ever in the world, but I do actually had a lot of fun with Ishura, and I'm happy we're getting more. If you haven't tried it and you like a big cast of characters being expanded on, interesting world, and actually having a plot driving those characters together, connecting them, even though it seems they shouldn't have any connection, Ishura is such an enjoyable series. And if you have watched it, let me know what you thought about it. Number 8, we have the Unwanted Undead Adventurer, and another series that I don't think a lot of people watched, but for me, I don't know, it kind of spoke to me in a way. I like this concept here. We have this normal adventurer that his entire life had one dream, just becoming the top tier adventure, but something happens, he dies and gets reborn as a monster, and we go from there. I'm not gonna go into more spoilers than that. The main girl that is with him is such a great character, the dynamic between them, seeing him grow and try to evolve with his situation. I'm liking the world, the requirements that he has to do to get to a higher level of monster, and I enjoy this type of series. But this one, I don't know, gave me this weird feeling. Every episode I was watching it, yes, I like this. And by the time I was thinking that the episode was over, I'm like, damn, I wanted more. And this is why it's at number 8 here. Fantasy series, intriguing, great characters. Is not the best animation, to say the least, but I know I enjoy it, and for me animation is not the most important thing when I'm watching a series. Not to say I don't love great animation, but when characters and the concept interests me, I can put up with some weaker animation. So if you enjoy a fantasy series, well, here I highly recommend the Unwanted Undead Adventurers, and yes, we're getting more and I can't wait for it. Number 7, we have Dun Dun Dun. And I can't wait for people to come at me. Dun Dun Dun, so low, no, we can't have this. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Dun 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 quite a lot. I even covered that week to week videos if you guys want to check those out. What Science Saru did with its adaptation and the creator of the manga, of course, has been stellar. Why it's not higher for me, it's mainly because my main criticism or personal enjoyment for the show, it feels a bit aimless, so to say. Like the character dynamic, the chemistry is great there, especially between Okarun, Momo, then we have Aira, then Gigi, Seiko, Turbo Granny is great. The characters, the comedy, the chemistry is awesome, and the animation, the art style, just speaking through it just simply from the animation, all of the shenanigans that happen, having these two characters getting together thanks to conspiracies, aliens, Ghost, and Seiko is my wife, or Queen Nurse there. And it ended on a cliffhanger, but thankfully we are getting more. Sometimes I don't think, for me, I would love a bigger plot, so to say, something driving the series forward, and maybe this why is not higher for me. And I can totally understand if a lot of people are gonna choose Dun 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 as their anime of the year or favorite or top at the top, to say the least. As much as I enjoyed Dun Dun Dun, I can't see myself just saying yes, it's my anime of the year. I'm happy you're getting more. I'm definitely going to watch it, and if people have issues with series like this, I saw all of the drama all over the place, just take a step back, relax. It's just an anime, please. So yeah, Dun 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 is awesome from our point of view. Just simply I didn't vibe with it as much overall, mainly thanks to feeling a bit aimless for me. So I highly enjoy it. It's one of the best series in this year. So Dun Dun Dun. Next one we have Yatagarasu, the raven does not choose its master. This one reminds me a bit of Apothecary Diaries, but it's more focused on the palace intrigue for the throne and what's happening, and also more fantasy. You have these raven people, or ravens that can turn into people, and the struggle for the throne with the prince and our main character being intertwined into that conflict there. It's very gripping, especially the first half. Like the first half is so damn good. I hope we're gonna get a season 2. Part 2 of the series here is not as good as the first half, but it's still definitely really good and leaves off some unresolved things. But I still highly recommend this one because the dialogue, the characters, the world building is really interesting here, and I always like palace intrigue series, and some of the episodes, what's happened, some of the conclusions in the arc are awesome, and if you, the more attention you pay, the more you are rewarded here. And that episode there at the palace that happened, if you guys watch Yatagarasu, you know the one I'm talking about. I'm like, damn, that felt like a great combination. And Apothecary Diaries also had something similar that happened into the series, if you guys remember, and I always love moments like that. So Yatagarasu, highly recommend if you haven't check it out. Number 5, we have Kaiju number 8. But I really did enjoy this series, mainly thanks to the main character, Kafka. Just having this normal dude being put down a list by life. He didn't quite make his dream, but his childhood friend did make this dream to fight against these kaijus that are attacking the world, and he's left on the other side still helping, but he's part of the cleaners, not the actual fighting force. But something happens and he gets the power to be able to transform into one of those kaijus, and how he's gonna navigate that moving forward. The fights were great, especially the sound. Like, it's so satisfying when one of those punches happening, the music, the sound effects, everything, and it feels great when he lands one of those punches. But then seeing him try to move forward in the organization there, what's happening, can he keep his secret, can he not, what's going to happen with that? But this is just the beginning of the series, and thankfully we're getting more. Now Kaiju was really fun. I'm liking the characters here, and the fights were so satisfying, and the comedy is more than the to say the least. And I'm liking this series. It reminds me a bit of World Trigger, if you haven't watched World Trigger. But that one is a bit more on the technical sides. This, with the fights, Kaiju is a bit more on the hype side with the fights. And who doesn't like a girl with a big gun, am I right? So yes, if you haven't watched Kaiju, highly recommended, and I can't wait for season 2. And Hoshina is one of the great characters here. Definitely reminds me of Levi, but a bit more mischievous, so to say, compared to Levi from Attack on Titan. So yeah, check out Kaiju number 8. Now at number 4, we have 2 seasons or a full adaptation of a series, Sengoku Yoko or Sengoku Yoko and the Thousandfold Chaos arc, which I don't expect to enjoy this series that much. The first part is definitely the prologue of the story. Then we get the full adaptation, and it feels great having a complete series and one that I actually enjoy the characters, the world building, the themes for it. Really fun, really emotional moments also, and makes you think, when are we gonna get more full adaptation series, especially like this? Makes me think of Hulk also a bit, if you haven't checked out Hulk. But Sengoku Yoko starts out with our characters having conflicting dreams, so to say, having this ragtag group together. Something happens and they get split up into different paths, and part 2 deals with that, and villains, heroes changing place. And I'm trying really hard to talk without spoilers, but it's really hard for this one. The characters are fun, the magic here, the fantasy aspect to it, and I do hope more people check out Sengoku Yoko. I highly enjoyed it, and feels great, like I said again, to have a full, complete adaptation here for this one. So if you watched it, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, at least try it. And like I said, the first part is definitely just the prologue of this one, and you're gonna get a full conclusion. So if you haven't, check out Sengoku Yoko. Then we come at top 3, in this case number 3, Delicious in Dungeon. And yes, I did enjoy this series. It started out pretty slow, but it's definitely worth up. The build up, the characters are fun, the shenanigans, just them turning a cooking show into a D&D campaign with all of that entails. Also a big plot to follow, a hook trying to save the sister of one of the main characters, but taking a lot of side quests to enjoy some food in life. If you can't enjoy food, what does it even mean to live, even though your sister is dying in the background? But then I'm also really enjoying the world building, the attention to detail that Delicious in Dungeon has. All of the shenanigans, the characters, all of them have their own quirks, which makes them special, but they're not just their quirks. There's a lot more to the characters, and the world is very intriguing here in this dungeon. And even more, the deeper you delve into the series and into the dungeon, the more interesting this series gets, and I can't wait for more. I have a feeling this is gonna be a full adaptation. If I remember correctly, the manga has like around 100 chapters, correct me in the comments below, and probably gonna be a full one, and I can't wait for it. It's really fun series, great characters, awesome art style and animations. The fights were also really good and intriguing, trying to figure out how you're gonna fight things that are well above you. The characters are great, the food is definitely delicious. So yes, Dungeon Meshi. Oh, Dungeon Meshi. Now at number 2 we have Solo Leveling, and yes, it has been a great start for Solo Leveling. The animation is awesome, the fight, but probably one of the best things in this series has to go to the voice actor for San Wu. He does such a great job, especially the screaming. Just can feel all of the emotion there. And if you guys know me, I enjoy edgy type characters, I enjoy power fantasies with gaming systems, leveling systems, and solo leveling is exactly that. If you want hype, growth in power, becoming overpowered, solo leveling is gonna be that. And I enjoy those type of series. This is why solo leveling is this high. I know people are gonna come, why is solo leveling over Delicious in Dungeon or Dun Dun or whatever series? I don't care. It's just simply fun, and we're getting more, and they also have been expanding a bit on the source material, on the manhwa, adding some of the extra scenes, giving some of more time to the other characters, and it has been great. But I have to say it again for the people in the back that have missed this. Season 1 is pretty much the prologue of the story. This is where it's starting, and it's really important to have expectations when you're going to a series like this. This is a power fantasy. Don't go into solo leveling as much as people hype it. Don't expect Vinland Saga. It's not that type of series. I love Vinland Saga, one of my all-time favorite series, but when I went into solo leveling, yes, this is a power fantasy. This is not a seinen serious war. What does it mean, violence and so on? And I'm using Vinland Saga just as an example. Know what you're getting yourself into. If you want a power fantasy, check out solo leveling. If you want a romance, check out Dan Da Dan. That's my point here. Solo leveling, highly enjoyable, and I can't wait for more. At number 1, we have Orb on the movements of the earth, and this series just hits like a truck, and I'm gonna try really hard to talk without spoilers. And like I talked previously, Vinland Saga, it's that similar vibe, kind of focused on it, reminds me so much of Vinland Saga, but with a different questions and what it means, different period, but the same kind of genre type. And I highly recommend Orb. Try it at least 3 episodes, 4 if you can. So intriguing. We have this period here in the 15th century, and going against the teachings of religion that the earth is the center of the universe, and that's how God made it. And if you try to say anything else, you're a heretic. And they actually do go hard into that, what it means to be seen as a heretic, how something can just open up your mind. And it's actually very closely related to real history, so to say. It draws quite a lot from our real world here, and just such a great series, just pondering so many questions, makes you think how much things were held back thanks to beliefs or somebody being in control. And this is not just about religion bad, no, it's not just that. Humans, when they're being confronted with something they have believed or thought about their entire lives to be false, they push back against that quite hard. And seeing the characters here, all of the different types, backgrounds, what it means, even on the evil side, the good side, how far they're also willing to go to prove this is just back and forth, just so gripping and insane how good this series is. And I do hope it's gonna be a full adaptation. Let me know if the episodes are gonna be enough, if you have read the original source material, but I'm enjoying this series so much. I love series like this, just makes you think hard and focus on some of the heavy questions here. And the dialogue is great, the characters are great, and this time period is awesome, seeing more grounded stories. I do love myself powers, fantasies, fights and so on, but when you get a series like this, hit you quite hard. And I'm enjoying Orb a lot, and please try it. I haven't seen it talked quite a lot as some of the other series, be it new or sequels. Some more people started talking about it quite. I had it in my best of season video also, but I highly recommend, if you're gonna watch any new anime from this year, check out Orb on the movements of the earth. Such a great series, especially if you enjoy something like Vinland Saga. Now let's talk a bit about some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the top 10 list, be it in new or in sequels. We have quite a bit of them. I'm gonna speed run this, just give a bit of ideas about them. I still recommend this series. Maybe some of you like them more than some of the others that I had in my top 10 list there. So let's go with them here. First one is a movie, Haikyuu, the dumpster battle. Highly enjoy Haikyuu, the series. It's finally great being able to see the movie. I really wish Japan would had movie releases faster than the original release in Japan. In the West, there's have like 3 months or something like that when we finally get it. Fun here, and I can't wait for more. Haikyuu, the movie was really fun. The match was great. Do I think could have used a season? I don't know, maybe, but Haikyuu, the movie, check it out if you like that one. Wistoria, One and Sword, another series from the creator of Danmachi. Amazing animation, great fight. The characters are not yet up there with Danmachi. That's probably the biggest drawback of Wistoria here, but hey, it's just the start. Then we had Dragon Ball Daima. This is more like filling the gap between Dragon Ball Z and Super, kind of like that middle part there. Expanding the world, great here. The animation is awesome, the character design. Why I didn't put it higher or made it into the list is mainly because they're turning into kids again. While I don't hate that, I kind of wished we got more Super, so to say, the sequels there, the Moro arc and so on, what's happening in Super. But Dragon Ball Daima is awesome. Then we had the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc, which I think this was great. Like having this arc here existing simply is awesome, and expanding a bit more on the manga, giving more time to the Hashiras, bridging some of the things together there. Great arc. Is not the most hyped arc, but I still think this was a good arc for Demon Slayer. Then we had Trillion Game. This series just bullshit the anime, just bullshitting your way to the top as hard as you can, and I'm having a lot of fun with a series like this. It reminds me a bit of Kaiji. If you haven't watched Kaiji, please check that one out. And also Dr. Stone, the creator is also involved in Trillion Game. Then we had Black Butler public school arc. Felt great to have Black Butler back, and we're getting more. If you haven't checked out Black Butler, I recommend it. Just pretend season 2 doesn't exist, but this one follows the manga a lot closer. Then we have a series I didn't expect it to be this fun. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical power. So that's a title there, to say the least. But really fun, great animation, great fights, all of the shenanigans, and interesting main character design. I think the people were talking more about that. But yeah, check it out, 7th Prince. Then we had the Windbreaker, very similar to Tokyo Revengers, but a bit more fun, and the animation is definitely better here. The start, the characters were great, and actually giving time to the fights, not just rushing through them. And the main character is really fun, the others around him. And we're getting more. Windbreaker, if you like delinquents and fights, check this one out. Then we had Go-Go Loser Ranger. Interesting concept here, having the villains being the good guys here and the good guys being the bad guys. I really like characters like that, that when you have everybody sees you as the good guy, but deep down you're a piece of shit, seeing the Rangers, seeing their true colors. And I'm enjoying the intrigue here, and Go-Go Loser Ranger, one of the most interesting series. Didn't quite make it. If he had 24 episodes, we could have talked a bit differently about this one. Here, then, you guys know me, I enjoy edgy type characters, main characters. Here we had the most notorious stalker, runs the world's greatest clan. This guy is the definition of bullshit and doing a lot of things, pushing the line, to say the least. Even in the first few episodes, yeah, he does something interesting to his comrades. They had it coming. In a way, he technically saved them. Yeah, Notorious Stalker, if you like edgy shows. Blue Lock Season 2, next one. I still do enjoy Blue Lock, but the animation is still PowerPoint. To say the least. They did cook really hard in the last episode. The match there, the last few scenes, amazing, but take your time more with Blue Lock. The studio, whatever is happening there with the production, take your time more. A series like this definitely deserves its animation. Then one really surprising, Demon Lord 2099. If you like more cyberpunk slash fantasy series, quite enjoyable. Here you have this Demon Lord being reincarnated into the future, what happened. Not gonna go further than that, fun series. Then we had Oshinoko Season 2. I'm still enjoying Oshinoko. Season 2 was really fun. Yes, I know the manga, the ending here. We're not gonna talk about that. Season 2 was fun. Then we had Konosuba Season 3. I was so happy we finally had Konosuba back. Darkness, still best girl in my book, is pretty much the focus on this season, and I'm liking that quite a lot. Let me know what's your favorite Konosuba girl. Then we had Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Season 2. Again, really fun. I wish I could put it in top 10, but just couldn't make it there. And Mashle, great series, Harry Potter, but he uses muscles. Then we had more Blue Exorcist, and I was happy this series is back. Shimaya Illuminati Saga, and also Beyond the Snow Saga. Then we're gonna have more with the Blue Knight here. If you enjoy Blue Exorcist, really fun here. Then this one reminds me a bit of Hitman Reborn combined with Spy Family, Mission Yozakura Family. Fun series, romance focused a bit with the main characters, but I'm liking this Hitman Assassins type series here. Then probably one of the best female characters that we got, new series, The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. I really just, Rose carries the show so much for me with this one. Fun, using interesting concept with healing magic. Then more Arifureta from Commonplace World Strongest Season 3. If you enjoy Power Fantasy Isekai series, we had Season 3. So those are pretty much the honorable mentions. I did watch a few more series outside of this, but we're gonna need to have a cut-off point. So some of these ones could definitely have an argument for maybe being up there. Some of them also could have an argument for not even being here, but I still stand by them. I still enjoy this series, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So let me know, which series do you think should have been in the list or in honorable mentions here. Now here we are at the big list, the actual top 10 of 2024, the combined list from sequels and new anime, my best 10 series of the year, with number 1 being anime of the year. Now at number 10 we have Delicious in Dungeon. Love the characters, the world building, really fun, and I can't wait for more. Solo leveling gets me hyped so much, and what they have done here, like I said, the voice actor, the animation is great, and I love the gaming aspect just going stronger in this power fantasy. Number 8 we have Shangri-La Frontier. Just speaks to the gamer in me so much, and the way it's portrayed here, the characters are fun, the grades focusing on the actual part of what it means to be in a game, taking breaks, even spending time with the family. Just insane fun series if you like gaming. Then at number 7 we have Danmachi Season 5. Even with the production issues, I still enjoy this season quite a lot. The characters here, what Freya is doing, seeing Belle going through that, what it means to the Hestia family, and actually even focusing a bit more on the gods themselves here. So Season 5 of Danmachi. Then at number 6, Orb on the Movements of the Earth. And the best new series of the year. Highly recommend this one. It's really hard to fully describe it without going into spoilers, but please do check out Orb. It's such a great series, and pretty underrated compared to some of the bigger names that we've gotten in this year. Then at number 5 we have Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. If you guys know me, I love Fairy Tail, and this season has been great. Very much so, more focus on character and relationship development, and hey, the 100-Year Quest dealing with the dragon gods, and I love Fairy Tail. Then at number 4 we have Kingdom Season 5, and I can't stress enough, more people need to get into Kingdom. Please do yourself a favor, get into the anime. Yes, put up with the CGI in the first 2 seasons, or at least read the manga, either or both, whatever. Just please watch Kingdom. It's such a great series. I do wish more people were talking about it and getting into it. At number 3 we have ReZero Season 3 Part 1. Like I said, amazing start with the movie. Some of the most all chaos break loose, what's happening into that town, the speech there from Subaru. If it was the entire season and maybe if it wasn't split into parts, could have had a conversation what it was being placed here, but part 1, amazing to say the least. Then we go at number 2, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2. This pretty much deals with the conclusion of the school, and then the labyrinth, and the emotional gut punches that we get here. And you guys know me, I love Mushoku, have been insane, and this season has been cooking a lot. And I know the animation is not as good at season 1, honestly don't care. Yes, I wish it was the best of the best, whatever. Mushoku Tensei is still an amazing series and I highly recommend it. So season 2 part 2 takes my number 2 spot. But for anime of the year, and maybe you guys probably figured this one out, should have been really easy if you watched the entire video, goes to Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War Arc, The Conflict Core 3. Insane, absolute cinema, what we've gotten here with this season. I love Bleach, one of my all-time favorite series, pretty much from top 5, all of them are my all-time favorite series. This one was pretty hard with the top 5 arranging them here, but Bleach stands on top what they've done here. The animation, the extra scenes, the love here, just seeing the Bleach comeback. Sometimes I still can't believe Bleach is back, and we are eating so good as Bleach fans, and all of the haters, that's on you. I don't care if you don't like Bleach. Bleach is awesome, and Core 3 has been great, and I can't wait for Core 4 to finally get the full conclusion. And hey, maybe we're gonna get that Hell arc also at some point. But yes, Bleach is my anime of the year for 2024. Now let me know which one is your anime of the year in the comments below. Then we get to the bad parts. Which are the worst anime of 2024? And for me, I'm gonna have 3 of them, the ones that disappointed me and one that annoyed me so much. Number 3, we go with Tower of God Season 2. I was even covering it in videos. I went into it with an open mind. They changed the art style. I don't think the art style is better in Season 1, and Season 1 is definitely better than Season 2, but hey, starting the weird choice. I don't know how the source material is full. If you've read the source material, let me know in the comments below what you think of how the anime adapted this, besides the animation. The animation is definitely PowerPoint, just dragging a PNG across the screen, sometimes during the fight, but also spending a lot of time on not the main cast that we got used to in Season 1, then going a bit all over the place. The animation, as I said, is bad. This one felt more disappointment than me hating Season 2. I'm not yet at the point that I hate Season 2. I still finished it. I do want Season 3. I like the world, the characters, but Season 2 has definitely been a disappointment, unfortunately. Now at number 2, we have a series that started out great, Ninja Kamui. I even had it in my best of season video. Then this one pulled a big one over everybody. First 2 or 3 episodes are great. The fighting, the animation, the revenge story starting out great. But then it gets worse and worse. Not just animation. The animation goes to shit, honestly, after that. Sure. But then, for the whatever reason, they took the best part that was in the beginning, the fighting hand to hand, being this ninja going against a group of people, being this assassin, hardened things, revenge. And then they decide to add mech suits. And like, why are you adding mech suits when you started out so great, and then even the fighting is shit, the animation is also shit, and it goes down the drain instantly. Ninja Kamui. So bad. Like, this turned into bad. From disappointment, it went into bad. But it's not as worse, at least for me, as my worst anime of the year. Number 1, by far, it goes to Buchigiri. But this one is mainly because, yes, it has good animation, even great. I like the premise here with jeans, Arabian Nights a bit, here Aladdin vibes that we're getting from it. starting out really good. I like the Lincoln's anime, reminded me a bit of Tokyo Revengers, but also in the worst part, because the main problem why I hate this anime so much is the main character. I'd rather have Takemichi 100 times from Tokyo Revengers, and if that doesn't say how much I hate the character from Buchigiri, the main character, I don't know what says. This guy is such a piece of shit, annoying main character. His main driving force is losing his virginity, which sure, fine. I enjoy anime, that doesn't bother me that much. But when he refuses to do even basic things, simple things to make things better, he treats his friend like shit, he treats pretty much everybody, except probably the best part of the show is the girl there, if you know. But this guy is so annoying. He quickly became one of my most hated characters in anime in general, not just from this year. I hate Buchigiri thanks to that. Drove me insane. Just somehow it's worse for me than The Ruins of Kingdom, my worst anime from last year. That one is a shit show. But I don't hate the main character from that one as much as I hate the main character from Buchigiri. Just goes to show, like, I can put up with worse animation more than I can put up with shitty characters or shitty plot. Unfortunately, because Buchigiri started out great, interesting premise, concept, animation, but then the main character just ruined it. So this is my worst anime of the year. So yeah, that's pretty much it for 2024. That turned out to be a pretty long one list. Anime, a lot of anime this year. Insane how much anime we have gotten. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm really curious what do you think of my list, be it the combined one, the sequels, or the new ones, the honorable mentions, and the worst one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about my choices. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But I'll also love from you guys to give me your list, be it new series, sequels, combined one, or list your anime of the year and the worst one. I'm curious mainly about those two things, and expand on it. Why do you think is the best and why do you think is the worst, and what other series do you think should have been here? What other series are you planning to watch? Did you find anything, a series from here that piqued your interest, and are you gonna check it out? And I'd highly appreciate from you guys if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course the comments would help me grow here. I've been putting in a lot of work into these videos yearly, and would mean a lot to me. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I do hope 2025 is also gonna be a great year for anime, but also even outside of anime. I wish you guys nothing but the best. May you succeed at whatever your goal is for 2025, and I hope to see you here on the channel back again. I'm gonna try to do more videos, focus not just on episodic covering things, maybe do some news, maybe do some reaction videos. So if you have something you guys want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much, and I do hope to see you again on the next one. So keep enjoying anime. Bye bye.